Hello, lovely people. It has been quite a while since I posted on YouTube. I think my last video was, I don't know, like 5 months ago, maybe? But, I'm still alive, and I am still making art. And I've gotten very good at it. So, I might post more art on YouTube. I'm not really honestly sure. I am very active on Instagram. My account is private though, because I post a lot of stuff about my personal life and I post pictures of my friends. So please feel free to try to follow that, but I reserve the right to delete your follow request if for whatever reason I don't feel comfortable with that. But you know, you guys are chill, I'm sure. So today we will not be doing art, we will be doing Stranger Things tier list. And spoilers, obviously, if you have not watched Stranger Things, skip this video. Cool. So I am making a tier list of characters that I think are most likely to die in season 5. Because I watched the trailer, I'm freaking out, and I have a lot of theories that I would like to share. So we are going to be doing that. Let me just pull it up real quick. Yeah, Stranger Things is my new favorite show. I started watching it very recently, actually, a few months ago, and now I am obsessed with it. Yeah, I have a lot of theories, so let's get started. So I have a ranking based on how likely I think they are to die. We have no way, perhaps, likely, and they're dead. 100% happening. So I have a lot of main characters in there. I didn't put like super minor side characters in there, but these are kind of my mains, and I have a lot of theories. So let's get started. First off, Hopper. He's not gonna die. I'm putting him in no way, because they made basically the entire 4th season, like, one of the side plots was like finding him because he's not dead. They wouldn't go to all that trouble if he's just gonna die in the last season. They wouldn't do that. I don't see what they can gain from that, honestly. And I think like it would just like Elle reunited with him and then he dies again. That's not good, and I don't want that to happen, and I don't think it will happen. So I think he is safe. So, next up, we have, well, 3 of the original members of the gang, not the gang, but like the D&D group, yeah. Mike, Dustin, and Lucas. And I love all of them so dearly, so dearly. I think they're all safe, quite honestly. I don't think they'd kill anyone from that, like, original crew. Well, I mean, they would, well, sorry, let me rephrase this. I don't think they would kill any of them, because they were kind of like the original 3, you know? So, I think they're all safe. Mike is definitely safe, I think. Dustin, though, I do have a theory about Dustin. I think someone who I will mention later in the video might die protecting him. So I think they'll all be in danger and like come close to death, especially because we saw a lot of clips of Mike in the trailer. But I think overall, those 3 are pretty safe. I don't see anything they could do with Lucas, except maybe Vecna might use Max to. I'll come back to that. So I think they're all safe. Out of these 4, I'm gonna bring I think I'm gonna bring Lucas to the top of no way. No, actually, Hopper's staying at the top. Lucas, Dustin, yeah. Okay, so Hopper's definitely not gonna die. Lucas, definitely not gonna die. Mike, like 95% chance he's not gonna die. Dustin, 85 to 90% chance he's not gonna die. That's where we're at. Or maybe like 90, but that's where we're at right now. And then Joyce, our dear and lovely Joyce. I think she's safe. I honestly don't have a lot of theories on this one, because they have built her up quite a bit, especially in seasons 3 and 4. Like, she had a very major role, so we have had just enough time to get like attached to her, but it wouldn't be like a heart-wrenching death. For some people, maybe, but I don't think she'll die, though. If we're assuming that Will is connected to Vecna, because he is, Vecna might target Joyce, especially because she knows a lot more about the Upside Down, because she connected with Will through the lights and all that sort of stuff. But I just don't find it likely. I think I'm gonna bring this to, honestly, maybe no way. Like, I just don't see them doing that, quite honestly. So, okay. Next up, next up we have Will. Here he is, our little boy, all grown up, and it is possible. It is very, very likely. And I don't, well, maybe not very likely, but I have some theories about this one. I just think that in the trailer, we could see that he was, like, in the teaser they released the other day, we could see that he was very clearly, like, possessed or not in control of his body when he was like, "Run!" I think he was just, like, he was not in control. Vecna was obviously controlling him somehow, is what I believe, or he was just really panicked. But I don't know, because it could be that it starts with Will, the series starts with Will, and it ends with Will, and that might mean Will has to die, or that might mean Will acts in some other capacity. But I think I could go either way with this. I'm very on the fence, because Will is one of the main characters for sure, but, like, I feel like, I don't know. We didn't get to see a lot of him in season 1. We didn't see a lot of him in season 2. We saw a decent bit in seasons 3 and 4. So we have had enough time to get attached to him, and we know what, like, everything he went through. But I don't know. I'm very on the fence about this one. Let me know what you guys think. And then next we have another very difficult one. I'm actually going to rearrange the order of a couple of these. I want to space out who I'm talking about. But I think, I don't know about, actually, you know what? I do know about Max. I don't think she's going to die. They would not bring her back and keep her alive if she's just going to die. Similar to Hopper, honestly. I think she will, be blind, obviously. I don't think she's coming back from that. I don't think they can magically make her see again. She's very clearly blind. I think she will act as Vecna's next vessel, like, similar to how Will did in season 2. I think she'll be that other person, especially because, for whatever reason, it bothers me that, like, that 11 couldn't find her in the Upside Down. And I don't mean bothers me in, like, that was a horrible plot point way, but, like, bothers me in the sense that I feel like that will come back later. Because if she can't, so Elle has this connection to the Upside Down and, like, the in-between dark space. If she couldn't find Max in that in-between dark space, but she could find her, like, pretty much brain-dead mom, something's wrong. Something's very wrong with Max. And I think it might mean that she's still stuck in the Upside Down in a sense, and that Vecna is controlling her and doesn't want Elle to see what he's doing. So I don't think she'll die. I think she will definitely be possessed. It should definitely be blind. But I don't think, I say never say never. So, like, I feel like I'm putting too many people in no way, but I don't know. Honestly, I'm gonna put her in no way. Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, that's where I'm going. Next up we have Nancy. Oh, I love Nancy so much. I think it's possible. It's very possible. I think I'm gonna put her in because we see that she's definitely had a bigger role these past few seasons, and we love her. We love her so much. I love Nancy. But I don't see her getting killed, but it is possible in a sense. Because she's the only one who Vecna, like, explicitly showed what happened. Because when, in that scene where they were trying to get back up, and they were about to get out of the Upside Down, and Vecna drags her back down, and Steve doesn't go with her, then he shows her everything. And, like, he wanted her to live, to, get revenge on Elle and tell Elle, like, tell Elle I'm coming. But, like, I just think, I don't know. I feel like she has trauma. Obviously, every character in Stranger Things has trauma. But I think she does have a lot of trauma, especially considering the whole Barb situation. I feel like that still has a big effect on her. And just everything she's been through. So, and we know that Vecna targets people who have trauma. So I think it is likely. It maybe no. I'm putting her in because honestly, I just don't see why necessarily they would do that in season 5. Kill her off in season 4, season 3 would make more sense to me. And now that I'm bringing up the past trauma situation, I think I am actually going to move Dustin up to with Nancy, because at first I was like, no, there's no way he's safe. But now I'm thinking he has that big amount of trauma due to Eddie dying, and I just feel like it is possible. It is possible for him to die. It just, I can't really explain it. It just feels like he would, especially he could be Vecna's next target. Yeah, that's where I'm putting him. And then the one I have the most solid theory about, Steve Harrington, and I am putting him in 100% going to die. And I'm very sorry, but I have legitimate reasons. So he has acted in the role of the babysitter for the past few seasons, and we love that. I love Steve. Everyone loves Steve, but he is very protective of the kids, and I think now that the kids and everyone at Hawkins is in danger, he will probably die protecting one of them. It's probably gonna be Dustin that he dies protecting. If not, it'll be Max or Elle. And I just think he's just the protector, and the protector ends up dying usually in shows and movies and that sort of thing. And also my other point about that is that he is the only character that's like explicitly talked about what he wants to do with his future in the scene with the van when he was talking with Nancy, like, I want to drive around with a big family in an RV. Like, you are dead. You are dead when you do that. And I think a lot of fans are in denial, and I completely understand that. But he's gonna die. I just cannot see a situation in which he would not die. So I believe he's going to die. And then next up we have Jonathan. Jonathan is, I don't know, honestly. I think I'll put him in because I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. Jonathan is very attached to Nancy. So it could be that if Vecna targets Nancy somehow, Jonathan would get wrapped up in that. And Jonathan also is very, I know that he and Nancy their relationship is obviously pretty strained, but he is still pretty protective of Nancy. So I think that could happen, potentially. But I don't see that being 100% the thing they do, killing him off. I don't think it's super likely, but I don't think it's like no shot, So I'm putting him in, and 11 is our final person. I don't think she'll die, but I have a lot of theories about that. So before I go on a tangent, I am going to put her in perhaps. None of them are unlikely. I just realized that. Huh. Anyway, so my theory is Elle will not die, but I mean, she might. That's why I put her in perhaps. But I think she will get stuck. Actually, no, I'm going to move her to... Ooh, I don't know. I'll decide where to move, like finalize where to move her after I rant. So my theory is that she will have to stop Vecna in the Upside Down, and she will have to close the gates from the inside in the Upside Down, and that means she will be stuck in the Upside Down. That's my theory. I think it's probable. I don't know if they'll do it, because I feel like they did kind of hint at that in season 1 when she like dies and goes to the Upside Down for 0.5 seconds and she has to kind of crawl her way out. I feel like they kind of hinted at that, like, oh, she's stuck in the Upside Down, but she found her way out. But without a gate, she can't. And I think they'll obviously kill Vecna in this season because it's the last season. But I think she'll have to kill him, and then she'll have to close the gates, because even if Vecna's dead, all those other monsters in the Upside Down can get through. So the gates will have to be closed somehow, and if that's when Vecna dies, that's possible. But I think she will get stuck in the Upside Down and not be able to get back out, but we might have some closure, because before Vecna came, we can see that the Upside Down wasn't like a terrible place. Like, it was pretty gnarly, but like it wasn't, crazy evil like it is. He made all the monsters evil. He made all the bats evil. He did all that stuff. So we might have that closure that maybe it's a livable, somewhat livable place for her, or she might die there. They could do that. But I don't feel like they'll 100% kill her off because she is arguably, for me, not very arguably, she is the main character of Stranger Things. We've followed her throughout the entire series. We know a lot about her. I think perhaps, I'm keeping her perhaps, because they might, but I don't see it happening, but I do see her being stuck in the Upside Down. So, that concludes my theories about character deaths, major character deaths. Tell me in the comments if you agree or if you have any other characters that you have a theory about, or tell me all your random theories. I would love to hear that. But, thank you for listening.